how to make chest workouts more effective for pectus excavatum. Now, developing the chest is key for masking your pectus. It's something I really focused on when I joined the gym, and I think it was why I was able to make my pectus hardly noticeable just with training. Over coaching people for the last 10 years, I've also, chest training is a staple of my programs, and it's something that I prioritize with volume to really get my clients a good result. And there are some certain little blueprint tips and tricks in terms of the exercises to do, the best rep ranges, how to structure your chest workouts, and some key chest training principles that you should know that will optimize your chest training for pectus excavatum. Now, before we get into this video, I want to just put in a note that don't just go and only train chest. It's very important you also balance it with back, because if your pec muscles get too tight from training chest too much, that's going to contribute to making your posture more rounded forward, and that makes the pectus look worse. So something that I deliberately did with my training was making sure I balanced it with a lot of back and also stretching my pecs, which is what I program for my clients as well. But we really do want to add mass to our chest, so training it is very important. Let's get into how to train it properly for pectus. So the first topic I want to discuss is the best exercises to do for your chest training. There's two ways to really break down chest exercises. You've either got your compound chest exercises or your isolation chest exercises. And so your compound chest exercises are pressing based compound movements that are either with weight or body weight. So your body weight compound movements that are really good for pectus is going to be push-ups, something simple and easy that everyone can do. It's a great chest builder. Dips, they're amazing for pectus, a great chest builder, particularly hits your lower chest, which is really key because getting the lower chest to separate from the ribs I think is really important. So I love dips, ring dips as well. I love push-ups, I also love ring push-ups, and different variations of your body weight pressing chest exercises. They're amazing for pectus. They should be a staple in your routine, something everyone can do. Also, you really want chest exercises with weight. So you're thinking a dumbbell chest press or a barbell bench press or an incline dumbbell press or a crush grip press or a landmine press, all kinds of different pressing variations that you can do. It's very important that you're focusing on progressive overload and getting stronger on a good compound press. Now, I find that for most people, a dumbbell bench press is going to be better for activating the chest. The barbell fixing you into a certain pattern will often result in the shoulders getting worked more, or the triceps and other muscles, where I find people can isolate and feel that mind-to-muscle connection with a dumbbell press more. So I typically program dumbbell press for my clients more, but I also do incorporate barbell bench press as well. However, I do find that dumbbell bench is slightly superior for most people, especially when it comes to engaging the chest if they're newer to working out. Dumbbell bench press also enables you to get a slightly better stretch, and the stretch is a really important part of the contraction. When you're under load in that stretch position, that's really important. To engage the chest, one of the primary movement patterns of the chest is pressing. The other movement pattern is adduction. And so I love exercises that are pressing and adduction. So we're looking at something like a crush grip dumbbell press. If you do this exercise, you can really feel like your inner chest muscle fibers around the pectus working. So that's something I program for my clients, as well as like a landmine press. These are examples of a good pressing movement with adduction that's really emphasized. Now, also, when you're doing your dumbbell chest presses and your chest presses in general, we really want to focus on a good stretch, but we also want to get that adduction portion of the movement as well. Okay, I think that's particularly important when it comes to pectus. Now, there are other exercises which are just adduction based really, and that is your fly. Okay, a chest fly is so amazing for pectus excavatum. It's something that I was obsessed with from when I joined the gym, because it was one of the first exercises that I really felt that burn in my chest and really helped me establish a mind-to-muscle connection with my chest. So I love a cable fly in particular. They're so good. I program it all the time for my clients in all kinds of different variations. So I do high to low. That's really good for isolating the lower chest and getting that to separate from your ribs. But I also do a low to high because we want to develop our entire chest. We want to develop full and sculpted pecs. So we do low to high. We do single arm work as well, so we can really focus on that range of motion and getting that adduction. And then also it works your obliques, which is important for the rib flare, which is another element of pectus. So I implement all kinds of fly variations, from cables, if they're working out from homes, from bands, pec deck machine. They're all good. And so I'd really recommend mixing up your chest exercises that you implement, but ensuring that in a chest workout, you want to typically have a pressing compound movement and an adduction isolation based movement. And if we're more experienced and you want to have 3 or 4 chest exercises, then beyond just a normal standard dumbbell bench press, you might want to have an adduction-based pressing movement as well, like a crush grip press. So you do a dumbbell, you do like an incline dumbbell press into a crush grip press, and then into a fly. And then you superset the fly with like a diamond push-up or something. That'd be an amazing 4 chest exercise workout that's going to get you the crazy pump and really stimulate your chest to grow. In terms of structuring your chest workouts, I'd encourage most of you start with a compound movement. Progressive overload on compound movements is key for building muscle. We want to be getting stronger, and so you want to start your workouts typically with compound movements when you have the most energy, because they're going to be the most taxing, and that way you can put the most into them and really focus on getting stronger. And then you can finish and burn it out with an isolation. However, in some circumstances for my clients, I do program an isolation chest exercise first. And this is particularly for clients that are really struggling with activating their chest. A lot of people do a press and they're like, man, all I feel is my triceps, my shoulders. I don't feel my chest. And so what I try and do is to help them isolate and engage their chest more is pre-fatigue the pecs with something like a fly where they're able to establish a mind-to-muscle connection. So sometimes you might want to start with a fly if that's you, but generally speaking, we want to start with a press. I start 95% of my chest workouts with a press. But again, you'll notice there's variation. It's not just black or white. This is how you should do it, because you should be mixing up your workouts and your exercises. I change my clients' programs every 4 weeks, so the program is progressive, and also so they're getting a new stimulus, so they don't just adapt and then plateau. Another question you might have is, how should I structure my rep ranges? Again, variance, okay? We want to go lower on the rep ranges, something from like 5 to 8 for a lot of your compound presses, and really focus on strength. But then you also want to do, sometimes you want to be going 10 to 15 to 20, and you want to be doing drop sets and supersets and really mixing up the rep ranges and the stimulus that you hit your chest with. Typically though, my compound presses that I program for my clients is going to be on the lower end, anywhere from typically 6 to 12, and then my isolation is going to be more like 8 to 15 to even 20 for some of the flies. That's typically how I program it. And that's typically what I have done for myself for most of my training. However, sometimes I have gone heavy on a fly for lower reps. You know, I do mix it up. So do mix up your rep ranges. That is the best way to train. You want to be hitting the muscle through different kinds of tension. The most important thing beyond the rep range is the intensity that you bring to your chest training. If you really want to grow your chest, you need to train it hard with intensity and train it close to failure. That is the number one key thing for stimulating muscle growth. So beyond the rep range, I want you to look deeper into how hard you trained it. And did you take it close to failure, okay? So if, for example, you're like, okay, I wanted to do 10 reps, but realistically with that weight, you could have done 14, you should have done 14, or go up in weight to hit the 10. You wanna be training close to failure. That's a very important thing when you're training any muscle group, and very much for your chest. Really like push that weight. On flies, you should really be burning it down, implementing things like cluster sets or drop sets as well sometimes, just to help you add that intensity and really take that fatigue and failure to another level. When it comes to engaging the chest, a mind-to-muscle connection is very important as well. So it's really important when you guys are doing your exercises, you're not just thinking about something else and you're concentrating and focusing, and you're not just trying to move a weight from point A to B, you're trying to engage the muscle, stimulate it as much as you can. So a good thing to help with the mind-to-muscle connection is slowing down the tempo. So for example, on a fly, like really feeling that stretch nice and slow, and then coming through and contracting, and then holding that contraction for a little bit, okay? You wanna play with tempo, play with your concentration in your mind on your chest to actually be engaging those fibers. Like my mind-to-muscle connection with my chest now is so solid that like I can like flex my pecs and feel so much strong engagement with them. Or even like being able to pec dance. That's due to mind-to-muscle connection that comes. So you wanna work on your mind-to-muscle connection. Make sure when you're training chest, you're not just moving weight from A to B, but you're focusing on your chest. You know, this is a skill that gets acquired over time, and as your chest gets bigger and more developed, you get better at it as well. And then another really key tip for optimal chest training is a full range of motion, guys. So it's really important that you're working through a full range of motion. I find particularly on your isolation exercises, so on a fly, we really want to be emphasizing a really deep stretch, and then also a really deep contraction and going through the point of adduction like as much as we can to really try and feel those inner chest muscle fibers. Like I do a lot of single arm work where we're coming across the body and really trying to engage those muscle fibers. We want to be going full stretch and then full contraction, max adduction, okay? Really important. Even on your presses, like don't be just pressing like this. You really want to get that full stretch and then the full adduction and contraction, okay? Make sure you emphasize a full range of motion. So anyway, guys, they are my key tips for training your chest for Pectus Excavatum. I hope that helps. If you're interested in coaching to have a plan, that's going to work. You know, I've helped so many people with pectus over 10 years almost of coaching people now. So if you're interested, then links in the description. You can book a call with me so I can meet you, determine the best approach for you, because you know, no plan is the same. Everyone's different. Everyone's pectus is different, their circumstances, and then I'll put together the plan and coach you to overcome your pectus.